But the next match on the program was a crime against nature, and I want to take just a second on this. Wardlow and Brian Cage. Old Brian Cage reappears. I didn't even look at the match in terms of, whether they did a good job or not. I look at the match in terms of, why would you do this? Putting Brian Cage looks like a freak of nature as a physical specimen. And he's so muscular and defined, but yet thick and powerful and blah, 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 that he's somebody that you look at. And remember when we first saw him, we said, boy, they might be able to do something with this guy. And then we watched him work a couple times, said, okay, well, now we know why they can't. But to put him in the ring with Wardlow, it made Wardlow look like he's a piece of shit. Nobody's physique can compare with this fucking guy's, but he's the shits in the ring. He's robotic. His matches make no sense. He just wants to do moves. He's rotten. And so what they did was they matched Wardlow up with a guy who's bigger and more impressive physically, even if he's not taller, and at the same time had a shitty match with him. Nobody cares about Brian Cage. The fans, the people, they don't give a shit. But he's kicking the shit out of Wardlow, and Wardlow's selling his ass off for him. So this was I'm pretty sure that he set the record for not audibly, but visually talking to his opponent on a television match in this thing. Because all you saw was Cage's lips moving. So apparently he was calling it. And somebody in there probably said, yeah, Cage has more experience. He's been wrestling longer than Wardlow. Let him call it. Fucking hell. So, again, Wardlow was up there with the people 3 months ago. And now they're just doing everything they can to neutralize his best points. Goldberg being manhandled by a preliminary guy with a great physique is kind of what they just did here. So, and then Cage superplexed Wardlow off the top rope. And I get Prince Nana. I like Nana. Prince Nana's there now, but he's with Brian Cage. And again, Wardlow was selling like Ricky Morton. Cage was getting multiple 2 counts. And then finally, just when they decided they'd had enough, Wardlow just made his comeback and hit the 4 power bombs. That's all they want to see now is the power bombs. The match was brutal. And then, oh my God, as soon as he wins the match, here come 2 random fucking giant shaggy Samoans that we've never seen before. And they start getting heat on Wardlow, and Samoa Joe hits to try to save. But the numbers are still against them, and there's more heat. And then here comes FTR's music, and they come out in street clothes, and you can tell they're thrilled at having to come out and wipe up this mess. They walk purposefully to the ring, and the heels just step out, but the big tattooed Samoan didn't want to back off from Cash. He went out to the apron and just stood there, and Cash goes up, and he's just standing there. So there was a legitimate shoving incident. I thought we were going to have something else to report on. And then Joe came over from the other side of the ring with some element of force to make the point, and the fucking Samoan got down on the tattooed Samoan got down on the ground. And the Samoans, apparently their name of their team is the Gates of Agony. And much like the heartbreak of psoriasis, they didn't get over with me. So this is setting up an 8-man tag, which what better place to hide the best tag team in wrestling and poor old Wardlow than in an 8-man with poor Samoa Joe and this group of numbnuts that they're going to have to fucking fight. Your thoughts?
They should name their pay-per-view pre-show the Gates of Agony. I think that would be more appropriate. I guess Brian Cage made some apologies to get back in that locker room. I'd like to know more about that. I'll find out relatively soon after I say that. Look, Brian Cage works one kind of match, despite the fact that even though he's not tall, he's built like a monster. He wrestles like a cruiserweight. And if you've seen his match, you've seen his match.
Yeah.
It was impressive when Wardlow hit that standing, not standing, but that Frankensteiner early in the match. It was impressive. But Wardlow just needs to be squashing people.
Well, it would be impressive if that was the most impressive thing that a big man did in the match.
Yeah.
But there's goddamn Cage superplexing the motherfucker off the top rope and doing all this goofy shit.
You know, another thing, and I was going to bring it up if you had reviewed the Darby Allin Jay Lethal match, which was a good match on paper. Well, I shouldn't say on paper. It was a good match, but the crowd was dead. The crowd's lethargic, and it's been going on now for multiple shows. You know, a lot of people pointed out this is the return to DC, where they ran the first Dynamite and they had however many thousands there, 12,000. This time there were less than 4,000. I don't think that matters, but the fact that the people who are there aren't reacting to everything the same way, that's something to worry about. People reacted to FTR because they're thinking, where the fuck are FTR? They got over as the most popular tag team in professional wrestling, and then they never wrestled again on TV in a tag team match. It makes no sense whatsoever. FTR were out. People were happy to see them. I think Tony's going to definitely try to have Samoa Joe and Wardlow as a tag team. I don't want to just rip on everything, but I just hate the booking. The booking's so bad right now. And they're shoving Ring of Honor now down everyone's throat. And I hate to say it like that, but I like Prince Nana. He just shows up all of a sudden. He's got a faction. They're now in the mix with this. Every match now is the handshakes. I don't know. I don't like the direction of like almost anything in AEW right now.
They're assuming that everybody watching this television show knows the Ring of Honor, Code of Honor, blah, 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 and it's a big deal, and et cetera, in the fans' minds. And a lot of people may say, what the fuck's going on here? And again, I don't care what promotion you're pushing. An 8-man clusterfuck like this is not going to get anybody anywhere.